So every single day, we're just swimming in information, aren't we? You've got articles, research, social media feeds, notes from work. I mean, it's nonstop, a real fire hose. And the tricky part isn't really finding stuff. It's figuring out, what actually matters. What's a valuable bit in all that noise? And that's what we do here on the Deep Dive. We take the sources you give us, go deep, and try to pull out those key insights you can actually use. Today, we're diving into something that, affects everyone. Everyday habits for a better life. And the sources you shared, they're fantastic, really rich. Not just ideas, but real stories, actual examples of how small, consistent things can lead to, pretty big positive changes.
That's absolutely right. And our mission today, if you will, is to really pull out the most important lessons from all these different stories. We're looking at what people are doing, these daily practices, but also really digging into why they're so impactful. The goal is to give you insights that hopefully get you thinking critically about how they might apply in your own life.
Okay, let's get into it then. First thing that jumps out from the sources is this incredible power of, kindness and just helping people out.
Yeah.
It's striking how many stories aren't about huge, dramatic acts, but these really simple, everyday moments of generosity.
Exactly. Like the story about Daniel. He sees an older man struggling with groceries, helps him out, just like that. And the man says, kindness makes the city a better place. Simple interaction, but wow, what a takeaway.
Yeah.
Or Emma helping the lost kid in the park, staying calm, speaking softly. Basic human connection. Then you see it at work too. Like Ahmed staying late, patiently helping a new person with the computer system. Or Anna offering to help James, the new guy, just understand how the office works. It's that quiet, steady support. And in communities, so many examples. Henry helping Mrs. Clark with her leaky garage after the rain, just being neighborly. Mark organizing volunteers after a flood. Mr. Thompson and Mr. Williams clearing snow for older neighbors. Olivia volunteering at the food bank. Michael helping his neighbor garden. John helping clear snow too. It's just people seeing a need and stepping up,
That's what's so interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
These aren't headline-grabbing things. They're just everyday, small stuff. So what is it about these seemingly minor things that makes them, so important? Why do they have this ripple effect the sources talk about?
It's fascinating, actually. These small acts, they seem to trigger something powerful. It's not just the outward effect, helping someone else. There's often an internal reward, too. Helping can release those feel-good chemicals, oxytocin, endorphins, sometimes called the helper's high. But beyond that, it builds what sociologists call social capital, trust, reciprocity. You help someone, they feel better, maybe they help someone else later, or they're more likely to help you. It creates this positive cycle.
Okay.
It makes communities feel safer, more connected. It strengthens the whole fabric, really.
That makes a lot of sense. Like the invisible glue holding things together. Okay, so shifting from looking outwards to looking inwards. Mastering our own world seems just as key. Cultivating those personal habits, focusing on growth. And the sources seem to say it starts with the basics, routines and organization.
Yes, that's a really strong theme. The impact of just having a daily routine, being organized. We heard about Lisa, the student working part-time. She plans her day, makes lists. Why? To avoid stress. It gives her control.
Right.
Claire, the busy mom and student, schedules her next day, uses phone reminders. And then Matthew, the librarian, Henry, the bank clerk, they have these really detailed daily routines. Wake up time, exercise, breakfast, even the bus they catch to listen to podcasts.
Specific.
And Paul, the mechanic, keeping his tools organized, his workspace clean. Order helps him do his job better.
It's amazing how many people seem to link just a few minutes of planning each day to feeling calmer, more productive. Do the sources hint at a magic amount of planning, or is it more about the act itself?
That's a good question. It seems less about the amount of planning and more about what planning does. It reduces decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue?
Yeah. Think of your brain's energy like a battery. Every little decision, what to eat, when to exercise, what task to do next, uses a bit of that power. Routines automate a lot of those small decisions, so you free up mental energy, willpower, focus for the bigger, harder stuff.
Okay, so it's like building a mental structure.
Exactly. A scaffolding. It supports you, reduces that feeling of being overwhelmed, and leads to that sense of calm and control people mentioned.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Okay, so besides structure, what about growth? Learning new things, getting better at stuff, handling setbacks. Because let's face it, things don't always go to plan.
No, they certainly don't. And the sources are full of examples there. Take patience and persistence. Sarah starting tennis. It was hard at first. She struggled, but she kept practicing and eventually won a match. Adam saving up for that bike for 4 months. Bit by bit, Mark searching for a house for months, Anna learning guitar, Lucy learning piano, same story. Initial frustration, sticking with daily practice, then progress. David learning to cook, Michael learning guitar, Sarah learning to swim, all about pushing through that initial difficulty. The key seems to be what's called deliberate practice. Showing up consistently, pushing yourself just a little. And then there's learning from mistakes. This is crucial. James forgot an important email. Instead of hiding it, he owned up, apologized, and then importantly created a checklist so it wouldn't happen again.
The system fix.
Exactly. Ethan felt bad about glancing at someone else's test paper, he told the teacher. Honesty felt better, lighter, it builds self-trust. Jack, the mechanic, ordered the wrong part. Okay, mistake made. What did he do? Created a checklist, started double-checking. Daniel sent the wrong report, told his manager, learned to double-check his work. The message is clear. Mistakes happen. Growth comes from acknowledging them, figuring out why, and adapting. That growth mindset idea.
Right, shifting from I failed to what did I learn? That's huge. But is there a point where persistence becomes, well, just banging your head against a wall? Do the sources talk about knowing when to change tack?
That's a really subtle but important point. While the stories celebrate persistence, they also imply reflection and adaptation. James making the checklist, Daniel talking to his manager, they didn't just keep making the same mistake. They stopped, assessed, and changed their approach. So it's persistence in reaching the goal, maybe not always persistence in using the exact same method if it's clearly failing. It's smart persistence, maybe. Adaptability within the effort. Then there's communication confidence. Thomas nervous about meetings. He wrote notes, practiced beforehand. It helped. David wanted to improve public speaking, so he joined a club, low-stakes practice. Sarah, new in town, and James, who was shy, both joined English conversation groups. Started small, built confidence over time. Paul learned to speak more clearly. It's about taking small, manageable steps. Financial habits come up too. Emily comparing coat prices. Smart shopping. Adam saving slowly for his son's bike. Lucy budgeting, building an emergency fund. Emma and Alice planning and saving for the future. It's not about being stingy, the story suggests, but about planning and discipline, building security, and enabling bigger goals later. And healthy habits and well-being, of course. Michael gardening, good for the mind and the plate. Susan walking every evening, helps her relax, sleep better. Henry exercising daily. Sarah focusing on fruits and vegetables.
The basics, but they matter.
They really do.
Yeah.
Anna getting 7-8 hours sleep for better focus. David drinking enough water. Laura taking breaks, sleeping well. These aren't just physical things. The sources link them directly to better thinking, mood, handling stress. Overall resilience. Goal setting is another one. Michael wanting to improve his English. He set small goals. 15 minutes practice daily, join a club, watch videos, made it manageable. Peter setting just 3 main tasks each day to stay focused. Mark aiming for a promotion, setting clear goals, working towards them. The idea is making goals specific and actionable, not just vague wishes. That creates momentum. And finally, facing challenges with positivity. This is powerful. Mr. Parker's company closes down. Setback, right? He starts a bakery, turns it into his dream. Emma loses her job. Instead of despairing, she takes online courses, volunteers, finds a better job. Mark and Jack also lose jobs but stay positive, learn new skills, find new paths. Mr. Lee staying calm during a power cut. It's about resilience, adaptability, reframing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. Responding, not just reacting. What's really striking when you look at all these patients, budgeting, health, goal setting, learning from mistakes, is how interconnected they feel. They all feed into this overall sense of personal mastery, of being able to navigate life effectively, which brings up a big question, doesn't it? How do you actually weave all these different threads together in your own unique life?
Yeah, that integration piece is key. And it leads perfectly into our next bit, how these personal habits don't just stay locked inside us. They ripple outwards, shaping how we interact with others, how we function in teams and communities. It's clear they benefit more than just the individual.
Precisely. Let's talk about teamwork and collaboration. The sources give us Rebecca, the project manager. Her team member Ben is struggling. What does she do? Explains things clearly. Gets Sarah to help him out. Result. Successful report. Team win.
Nice.
Lucy's school group had a big presentation. They combined ideas, divided the work fairly. Success again. Michael's office team finishing a big project on time because they pulled together. James's factory team fixing a broken machine by working collaboratively.
These are great examples of success. But what about when teamwork gets tricky? Disagreements, people not pulling their weight. Do the sources offer clues on handling the tougher side of collaboration?
They do, implicitly. The successes highlight the principles that likely help during tough times, too. Things like Really listening to each other, supporting colleagues without judgment, communicating clearly, especially when things are difficult, and respecting different opinions, even when you disagree.
So building that foundation of respect.
Exactly. That seems to be what turns potential conflict into, okay, how do we solve this together? It's about psychological safety, feeling you can contribute or admit a problem without being shot down, building that shared ownership. And underpinning all of that is trust and connection. This runs deep in the sources. Take honesty. Ethan telling the truth is a test paper. He felt lighter, yes, but it also reinforces his integrity, builds trust, maybe even with the teacher who appreciated it. Jack finding a wallet and returning it. Lucy taking a found wallet to the police. These aren't just good deeds. They're actions that build a trustworthy reputation for the individual and maybe even reflecting on the community. And friendship. Rachel and Laura supporting each other through tough family times. Lucy and Claire helping each other manage exam stress. What makes these friendships strong? The sources point to listening, consistent support, trust, just making the effort. They're vital support networks. And finally, respect. Colleague Sarah at work. She listens, doesn't interrupt, speaks politely. It helped her team navigate disagreements and find solutions.
Simple, but effective.
Very. Lisa and Emily also showing respect through basic politeness and active listening. These small acts of consideration reduce friction, make people feel valued, and just make collaboration work much smoother.
It really is amazing when you step back and see it all. These aren't just random nice things to do, these everyday habits, as the sources call them. They really are interconnected. They're like the building blocks for a life that feels fulfilling, connected, and, well, informed too. So wrapping up this deep dive, I think the biggest takeaway, the clearest message from all these stories you shared is this. A better life isn't really about waiting for some grand moment or making huge sudden changes. It's built bit by bit, day by day, through the consistent, intentional practice of these small positive habits. Kindness, patience, honesty, learning, organizing your day. That seems to be where the real lasting change happens.
And here's a final thought to maybe chew on. If every single one of these small positive habits does create a ripple effect like we've seen, how might all our collective daily choices, things that seem tiny in the moment, how might they fundamentally reshape not just our own lives, but the very fabric of our communities, maybe even the world over time? It's kind of powerful to think about the large-scale impact of all that individual consistency, isn't it?
It really is something to definitely think about. So as you go about your day today, maybe just consider one small habit from all this. Is there one little thing you could start or maybe strengthen in your own life? One tiny intentional change today that could start its own ripple effect. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive.